Hello, stars, and welcome back to Arianna-verse. Today's episode is going to be so much fun, because today we are reviewing my Weird School Daze series, which is a really funny series. If you're a kid in kindergarten, first, second, or even third grade, you probably know this series. It's called the My Weird School Daze series. And if you're in any of the grades that I mentioned before, you probably know what I'm talking about. They're hilarious, aren't they? Maybe you have some at home, or maybe they're just in your school library, or even in your own classroom. And I am so excited to show you some of my favorites today. Let's get to it! My first book is called Mrs. Dole is Out of Control. In this book, AJ and his friends are moving up to third grade, so they are having a graduation. But the PTA president of their school, Mrs. Dole, is turning it into a humongous ceremony. She is taking it way too seriously. She's getting all this fancy stuff. She's getting a rapper to rap at the graduation. She's getting farm animals to present to all the parents that come to the graduation. She's even getting a humongous cake. Like, it's so big. As the book says, Mrs. Dole is out of control. And she's taking it overboard. But at the end, there's a huge problem. Will AJ and his friends actually survive enough to go to third grade? You'll find out when you read this book. My next book is very, 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 very funny. It's called Coach Hyatt is a Riot. It's Pee-wee football season in AJ's school. But AJ's new coach, Miss Hyatt, is a riot. She has crazy ideas. She wants the boys to do push-ups in the mud, and she wants them to lift up a car. And at the end, AJ thinks it's a bad idea, but I don't think it's wrong with this idea. She wants to add girls to the football team. AJ thinks this is a horrible idea. You'll never guess what happened in a million years. You'll never guess what happened at the big game. It's so funny. So, you have to read this book. It's so good. My third book is called Mr. Granite is from Another Planet. Ooh, science. It's space. AJ's new third grade teacher, Mr. Granite, is like a supercomputer. He knows everything there is to know in the entire world. But he knows a little too much, and he's super, super, super weird. He talks weird, he acts weird. Boy, he even teaches weird. So, AJ and his friends get the idea that Mr. Granite is from outer space. Is he really an alien? This sounds super cool and space scientific. My next book is called Officer Spence Makes No Sense. In this book, the security guard at elementary school, Officer Spence, is a little crazy. But when someone starts stealing PB&J sandwiches in the vomitorium, Officer Spence is on the case. By the way, vomitorium is what in this book and in this series they call cafeteria. Because somebody in third grade threw up. That's a whole different story. Anyway, Officer Spence is on the case. He's arresting everyone in sight, even the principal and the vice principal. He's going crazy. Who is it? You'll have to read this book to find out. My next book I really, really, really loved when I read it, and I hope you will love it too. It's called Mrs. Jafee is Daffy. Mrs. Jafee, the new vice principal of elementary school, has crazy ideas on how to teach the children. She wants everybody to do yoga, do math on their heads, and they have to take a spelling test underwater. Could it possibly get any weirder? So, read this book. It's funny and weird. One of the craziest things she ever did was make the kids eat so
so much junk food. There was cookies, cakes, ice cream cake, ice cream, brownies, everything you can imagine. And the kids even got dizzy and they got sick from eating all that candy. Some kids might think that's really good, but it's not. Do you think she's gonna get away with all her crazy ideas in the end? Maybe. You'll see if you read it. I like this series and this type of books because they're such an easy read and they're super fun. And it gives me a break from all those big, intense chapter books that give me days to read. This, for me, is just like a 30-minute read. Plus, it's very funny and very weird.
As always, thank you for watching this episode. I really hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to smash the subscribe button and like my videos. And don't forget to ring that bell so you can get my notifications when I post my next video. See you in the next episode. Bye, stars. Peace out. You just gotta ignite the light.